All right. This time I made special note to disconnect Bluetooth audio on my phone, and I double checked to make sure that this was not picking up my car's CarPlay, so that we didn't run into the same issues that we had 2 days ago, where I lose like 10 minutes worth of audio because my phone decides to connect to Bluetooth. So today we're heading back to the gym. It's a lifting day today. I'm gonna do a little bit of probably incline bench, and then just some accessories after that. Nothing too crazy today. Still trying to recover mainly. That's just my biggest thing this week, is just trying to get back in the gym and get familiar, because we're at like 90-95% right now recovery from this illness, and so it's good, but we're not 100% still. So I want to try to still kind of nurse this, and then next week we're gonna hit the ground running with probably what's going to be I'll probably end up testing maxes next week. Well, not testing maxes, but just sort of hitting heavy singles or heavy doubles at like RPE 9, just to kind of get a feel for where my lifts are at, because the following week, so that'd be like 10 days from now, we're going to roll right into my next lifting program, and I want to make sure that I have an accurate picture for where my lifts are at for that. So even if I have lost a little bit of strength, which I'm kind of anticipating. I could not walk into a gym right now and bench 350 or 340. Just wouldn't happen. So I'm anticipating a little bit of a loss in strength, and that's fine. Mostly I want to maintain what I have while I prep for speaking of, I recorded a video yesterday, I think it was, but I'm probably not going to post it just because there's no value add there. It's just me rambling about Hyrox for like 10 minutes. But yeah, I did end up signing my wife and I up for Hyrox in March, so I've got 2 months to prepare for that, and I kind of hemmed and hawed and went back and forth on how I should split my training between now and then, because I want to continue to lift, but I also want to increase my running frequency. So I kind of went back and forth on how I could best do that, because everything I've read so far really points to like Hyrox being primarily a running sport, and that if you are a good runner, then you will likely do fairly well at a Hyrox, because it's primarily running. It's 8K of running with like some functional fitness sprinkled into the mix in between. You run 8K broken up into 8 1K runs, and I'll completely butcher the lineup of events if I try to recall from memory what they are. But there's like a sled pull, sled push, ski erg, rower, burpee broad jumps, there's wall balls, there's farmer's carry, there's 8 events sprinkled in between 8 1K runs. And so that's kind of what my next training picture is. And I'm fortunate that I was already training for a race in April. I was training, but it was a separate race. I was training for a 10K, though I think it's actually a 5K. So I've already been running with some intensity for like 2 or 3 months now. So I think that will be beneficial for me, just because I'm already running. But I want to increase the frequency. I've only been running 2 days a week. I'm doing like a speed day and then a long run day, and I want to increase that to 3 or 4 days a week, just to try and help get my speed up, but also just improve like my conditioning and my VO2 max and things like that, because I think that's going to be helpful. I'm a reasonably strong guy, and I'm not going to come on here and tell you that I'm the world's strongest man or some elite power lifter, because I'm not. But for my age, I'm 33. For my age, I'm reasonably strong. I've competed in powerlifting meets. I still train very much in a powerlifting style. So I prioritize strength, and I think that'll help me on some of those events, like the sled pull, push, things like that. So I'm not really going to train too terribly. Like, I'm not going to go out of my way to train those events specifically. I feel confident that I can push 335 pounds on a sled, 50 meters. I mean, is it gonna suck? Not probably, but we'll get it done. I'm not that worried about it. So other than that, though, like I said, I just wanted to. So I was torn on how to split my training, because I didn't want to overtrain, but I also wanted to increase the frequency with which I was running to 3 or 4 days a week, which means if I was only going to do the gym or run on any given day, means I'd be working out to some capacity 7 days a week, and I didn't want to do that. So I went into my running app and I redid my race goal. So now I'm training for a half marathon now in 2 months, and I've got 4 days a week down in there. So they've got me doing 4 days a week for the next 2 months, just running. I'm just trying to improve my running. I'm not really necessarily trying to run a half marathon. I just chose that goal because I know that I'd rather not overtrain, but over kind of prepare in that way, than under prepare and be left completely gassed by, this 5 or 6K mark and be like, man, I don't know if I have it in me to finish this, So I'd rather train for something like a higher target, aim higher. That way, even if I don't complete the program, even if I can't run a half marathon at the end of that program, I'm still training with more intensity, and I think I'll be better prepared for the Hyrox. But what I'm going to end up doing alongside that is I'm going to run one of Derek Thistlewaite's programs, Death Grip Derek on Instagram, for those of you that care or are following along. I'm going to run his GigaChad program, because I've heard him say multiple times that when he was doing that, he was training jiu-jitsu like 3 or 4 days a week alongside that program. And I took a look at it last night, and it's a power building program, and it does have a peaking phase at the end, which kind of surprised me a little bit. But I think it's a 16-week power building program that I'm going to run alongside this running program. And I think that 16 weeks from like today, I think, is the end of April. So that peaking phase should be basically well after the Hyrox, and even maybe potentially after I run the 5K as well. Though a 5K is not really like anything physically taxing for me, even at this stage. I mean, I guess it just depends on the speed that I run, the pace that I keep. But the run in April, it's a fun run, dude. It's a fun run at a brewery here in town, and you run and then you drink some beer and eat some tacos at the end. And I'm doing it with my dad and my brother, so it's more for fun than anything. I'm not really like taking that too seriously. But either way, I think this GigaChad program by Derek Thistlewaite, Death Grip Derek, I think it'll work alongside this running scheme, because like I said, he has mentioned many times, I've seen him mention on his Instagram, that it was a program he wrote to like do alongside other training, whether that's jiu-jitsu or running or swimming or cycling or whatever it is. He's made note of it on multiple occasions that, like, yes, when I ran this program, I was doing jiu-jitsu 3 to 4 days a week. So it's meant to be run alongside other training. So I think that's what I'm gonna go with. And we're just gonna run that in tandem. I will have to run and lift on some days. But like I said, I don't think that'll be an issue. It's just gonna be a change for me physically, I think. So I'm gonna really have to try and prioritize my recovery and my sleep, and make sure that I'm adjusting my nutrition accordingly as well, because I'm about to increase my miles substantially, it seems like. So I will probably be much hungrier. So yeah, we'll have to just I have to take that in stride. You know, it's trial and error, right? Everything is. I'm probably going to be really hungry for the first couple weeks until I get it nailed down. And then once I figure out what works best, we'll just stick with it and replicate that. And I don't think it'll be too big of an issue, but who knows? Maybe it will be. But it's nice to have something else to look forward to now, you know, something else to train for. Whereas before I was just kind of coming to the gym and lifting, and there's nothing wrong with that. You don't always have to be training for something, but it's just nice to kind of have a goal, you know, to have a goal, something to look forward to, something to train for, something to help help motivate you, I guess. Like I said, something to look forward to in the future. So this Hyrox should be fun. Should be fun for me and my wife. She's nervous, but I have confidence in both of our abilities. So we'll just have to see. We'll see. I'll document every step of the journey right here. So anyways, I'm at the gym now. So we're gonna run in here. I'm gonna get warmed up, and then we're gonna move on to incline bench, and I'll be doing that for my compound today. So we'll see you in there. See you inside. So this was the third set of 3 on the incline bench. These were basically like stopping 1 rep short of failure. I was going for 5 or 6 here. I think the first set I did was 6 reps, and the second was 5. So I was just trying to match one of those. This is 195. 195, yeah. So I've been incorporating incline bench into my training for the last like 12 weeks or so, on my secondary days, which was today. And I will say that it has been very humbling to load a barbell on an incline bench. You know, I flat bench, you know, I don't know, 300 plus pounds. But to load even like 225 on the incline has been extremely humbling. So these have not been my favorite days in terms of compound lifts, but the accessory work is really what makes the day for me. I enjoy going nuts on accessories and getting a solid pump. But managed to squeak out 6 reps here, so good enough for me. This is a set that was not prescribed, but I've been doing it just after all of my incline sets, like working sets, are actually done. I just drop to a plate on each side, and I'll bench 135 just until failure, basically, or 1 rep shy, because I do it without a spot. So I like to try to avoid failure if I can, pinning myself under the bar. I think my PR is like 23 to 25 reps, somewhere in there. I can't remember exactly. And I managed to squeak out 20 on this set. This always helps contribute to the pump. I do like the burnout sets. I also do it on the Smith machine as well. But yeah, managed to get 20 reps, so I was happy with that. That's like probably usually the average of what I get is somewhere around 20. But yeah, good enough for me. Again, can't ask for much more. Maybe part of me is just searching for something to help heal my ego after I get humbled on the heavier sets with an incline bench. I can just throw 135 around, but either way, I don't know. It's fun. It's fun. This is another burnout set. This is on the Smith machine. The Smith machine bench is programmed for me today. So I did 3 sets of 8 at like RPE 7, which worked out to be a 45-pound plate and a 35-pound plate on each side. So I did those sets, and then I dropped to this, which is another unprescribed set with a plate on each side, and I just did to failure. I knew by about rep 10 or so that, I mean, they just were not feeling good. And I managed to squeak out 20 reps here. The last time I did this a couple weeks ago before I was sick, I got 30 reps. By rep 10, I knew that wasn't happening. So I was just happy to get 20, you know, coming off of sickness, you know, I was just happy to get 20 and get a little pump action going, you know. Smith machine bench, dude, it's great for hypertrophy. Normalize using this thing whenever you want. Benching on the Smith machine needs to be normalized. So anyways, that helped me get a good pump right there, but it did not feel great. So well, that did not feel great, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. I feel like a broken record at this point, like, oh well, we're on the mend, we're on the path to recovery, but I mean, it's kind of true, you know. It's like just trying to do my best here and continue to show up despite the recovery process, you know. But it is what it is. I don't know, we got it done, so I kind of had to cut it short today. Today's a long one anyways. Lots of accessory work. Today's kind of a secondary day, so just lots of accessories. And so I kind of had to cut some of those out just for the sake of time. So yeah, success though, I guess. You know, we showed up and got it done. Showed up and got it done. That's really all I can ask for at this point. You know, I said it in the previous part of the video. I put a voiceover on the Smith machine bench, but you know, normalize the Smith machine bench, okay? I'm not expecting to add 100 pounds to my bench press, okay? By using the Smith machine as a bench, you know, it's like a tertiary movement for me. You know, it's not even like, I view it as accessory work. I don't even view it as a compound. You know, I view it as like an accessory piece in my routine. I'm not expecting to add 100 pounds to my bench doing that, but it's good for hypertrophy. You know, I mean, it's got its use. It's got its moments. I used to dog on the Smith machine so much. You know, for whatever it was for squats, bench press, whatever you're doing, but Smith machine, there's a time and a place for it, you know, and being able to identify those and incorporate them into your routine, I mean, you know, it's invaluable. It's just like any other you know, movement that you would do. So normalize that, man. It's not a big deal, you know. It's not a big deal to go into the gym and drag a bench under the Smith machine and then start benching on it. You know, I just did it. I did 4 sets. I did 3 sets of 8 at 205, and I call it 205 because on a normal bench that's what it would be, but the starting resistance on a Smith machine, at least on that one, is 25 pounds. So really I did 185, and I did 3 sets of 8, and then I did the set that I showed was 1 set just to failure basically. And man, that did not feel good. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but boy howdy, that felt like crap. About 10 reps in, I could tell that I was not going to make it many more, and I didn't think I was gonna make it to 20, but I did. And so it's just a nice little burnout set. Hits your triceps pretty hard, hits your chest pretty hard. So I don't know, I just like to incorporate that. Just get a nice little pump going, you know, if for no other reason. But I don't know. Lots of people and you know, like I said, up until pretty recently, myself included, like I would dog on the Smith machine, but it was programmed in this training cycle that I'm doing. I actually had the choice between the Smith machine or the hammer strength, and whatever little voice inside my head told me to do the Smith machine, I listened to it. And I've done it every week for like 12 weeks now. And I mean, it's not bad. It's good for a pump, dude. I'll give it that. It's good for a pump, you know. Like I said, not really expecting to add 100 pounds to my bench press with it, but you know, for a little bit of a pump and some hypertrophy, it's not bad. give it a shot, you know. And if anyone wants to make fun of you, dude, ignore them. Who cares? Who cares? We're all gonna die anyway. So outside of that, you know, did some accessory work today. Like I said, I had to cut it kind of short, but I don't know. I feel like I'm not gonna lose a ton of gains by cutting it short. I cut workouts short all the time, you know. I don't make it a habit. If I can get in there and get my stuff done the whole workout, that's obviously my priority, is to follow the program to a T. And it should be yours too. Just follow the plan. But I work full time, and I have other obligations outside of the gym, so that's not always doable. It's not always feasible. And if that's the case, you just got to kind of prioritize what you want to do and what you think will be more or most beneficial, you know. And that's what I did today. I did some tricep work, and then I cut out a couple bicep exercises because, I don't know, it just seemed like it was kind of superfluous. Didn't really think that it was, I don't know, just wasn't feeling it today. So I skipped that, and then ended up I did the Smith machine bench, and I did preacher curls too. So I did do one bicep exercise, but yeah, you know, it's part of it, dude, is sustainability, longevity. You know, don't stress yourself out trying to cram an entire workout in if you can't make it. It's late for me. It's like 1:15, and I like to be out of the gym by like 12:30 so that I can be home and like make my lunch and get back to work. Because like I said, I do have a normal, you know, 9-to-5 job. This is my lunch break when I go to the gym every day, and I'm never gone for a stupid amount of time, you know. I'm usually gone for, you know, an hour and a half. 2 hours is long for me. Like, that's a long time for me to be in the gym. You don't need to be in the gym that long. You really don't. You can make great gains going to the gym an hour and a half a day. That's all it takes, you know. And you don't have to go every day either. You can just go 3 days a week is plenty. There are plenty of studies out there that show like an hour, 60 to 90 minutes, 3 days a week, dude, especially for beginners. If you're a beginner, dude, that's all it needs. That's all you need. That's the time commitment right there. Okay. So what is that? An hour and a half, 3 days a week? Or is that 4.5 hours a week? You can find 4.5 hours a week. Okay. Don't tell me that you can't, because you can. So stop with the excuses and just get in there and start putting in work. 30 minutes is better than 0. 15 minutes is better than 0. Just got to go in and start, man. Showing up and starting, man, that's 90% of the battle right there. Once you make it a part of your routine, and once you kind of get into a habit and a routine of going to the gym, especially if you can go at the same time every day, man, you're good. That's the hard part. That's the hard part. Then you can start trying to refine your approach and optimize carbohydrate intake and optimize, you know, exercise selection and muscle contraction and exercise order and, you know, all that other garbage that, you know, people try to put the cart before the horse. But you got to be functional before you can be optimal. You know, you can't show up. You can't go out as a beginner looking for like the best meal plan, like the most optimal meal plan and the most optimal workout routine. You know, you've got to master the art of showing up first. And that in and of itself is, I mean, that's a skill. Mastering the art of just showing up and being there and doing something. You got to master. That is the most basic skill that you need to master when it comes to this. You've got to get that down before you can start like I said, you know, picking all the stuff that the proper diet, and we're going to time carbs, and we need to cut out fat, and we need to cut out carbs, or we need to, you know, I can't do curls before I do triceps, because if I do that, then it's not going to be optimal for gains, and, you know, I shouldn't bench more than once a week, or, you know, whatever it is. You know, you've got to be functional before you can be optimal. So just master the basics first, and then we can start to get nitpicky. But until you master the basics, forget about it. So yeah, all that to say, show up for yourself, I guess. But Yeah, I'm very hungry, and I am actually really excited to go home and crush some food. So, and I'll say this too. I've I've been a little bit more nitpicky recently. Of course, remember, I have mastered the art of showing up. I've been doing this for like 5 years. So I've mastered the art of showing up, and recently I've been getting a little bit more nitpicky about when I eat carbs. I like to surround my carb intake with like working out. So like I have, fruit in the morning before I work out. Like I have a smoothie. Sometimes I'll eat an apple or two or a banana or two or something as well, just to kind of help fuel the workout. And then when I get home, I'm going to have more carbs, probably some potatoes. I usually have potatoes and beef for lunch. So I've been getting a little bit more nitpicky. I haven't noticed anything nothing's jumped out like, oh my God, I feel so much stronger. But I don't know, something mentally maybe that I'm just like convinced it's working better or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely full of crap and it's actually hurting my lifts. Who knows? I don't track it that closely. I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm not getting ready to step on stage or anything. But you just got to do what works for you, man. Do what works for you. Pick a diet you can stick to for 30 years. I don't really care what kind of fad diet you can stick to for 30 days. You need to be finding a diet that you can stick to for 30 years. Longevity, consistency, that's the name of the game. You got to understand this is a lifestyle change. So you've got to make changes to your lifestyle accordingly that align with the goals that you say you want. So pulling into the neighborhood now. I am going to stop this video now, and I'm gonna go make my lunch, and I'm going to just absolutely crush it because I'm hungry. I don't know why, but I am. So anyways, until next time, I guess. Well, until tomorrow, we're gonna be doing some deadlifts. So I'll see y'all then. Thanks for watching.